Hi guys, it's me Kyla, and for today's video, we are going to talk about the role of science and technology in the nation building. Technology is the key to progress and development. It plays a vital role in wealth, improvement of quality of life, real economic growth, and transformation of society. Innovations or technology may imply saddling and misusing our understanding of nature for our claim advantage. It is an application of information for practical purposes. It is utilized to make strides in the human condition and normal environment or to carry out other socio-economic exercises. It is also referred to all process that deals with materials and their end product. There are 7 aspects that science and technology made a big impact. These are societal development, national development, poverty alleviation, technology in health, agriculture, economic growth and rural development, and last but not least, education. The key role of science and technology in societal development. Technology plays a fundamental role in wealth creation, improvement of the quality of life, and real economic growth, especially transformation in any society. Essentially, the technology is the primary engine of economic growth. It is the key and primary requirement for value addition to raw materials and people. It is the key to unlocking any country's potential in terms of decreasing overhead costs associated with outsourcing and creating employment opportunities. Science and technology not only prepare youths for fulfilling career prospects but also train their minds to address the social problem with scientific minds. Youth that is equipped with science and technology education are also endowed with high employment opportunities. Developed and advanced countries did progress much because of their heavy investments in science and technology. Examples are the United Kingdom and France benefited immensely from the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century. Second, recently Taiwan and Korea have exploited advances in silicon microelectronics from the early 1960s. Lastly, in the 19th century, the United States emerged from an agrarian economy into an industrial superpower in the 20th century. These successes were all based on design products or design roadmaps of plans and strategies. However, in many, if not all, the developed or not yet or yet to develop countries, technology is seen or viewed as a consumable item and not something that can be produced or created. Role of science and technology in national development. Science and technology have been central in the progress and development of virtually all nations of the world. It is intimately connected with the development because they have a historical record of bringing advances that have led to healthier, longer, and wealthier and more productive lives, and they are key ingredients to solutions to the most serious poverty alleviation and economic development challenges that are currently faced and are likely to face in the future. Next is the role of science and technology in poverty alleviation. Advances in science and technology are in many ways with ultimate global public good. Science and technology have been central in the progress made to date in the fight against poverty and in stimulating economic growth. The benefits can be extended to additional users at little or no marginal costs. Science and technology hold the best prospects for continued progress, particularly with respect to agriculture, health, energy, water, and environmental concerns. Role of science and technology in health. Advances in scientific knowledge and its application have helped slow the trend of high fertility and high mortality, and led to increasingly better health for many people around the world. AIDS, prenatal and maternal, and waterborne diseases create a tremendous burden in some developing countries. Over the past century, science and technology provided the basis for the largest ever aggregate improvements in human health. Examples are scourge diseases have been eliminated, like smallpox, while the morbidity and mortality associated with everyday health-related events like childbirth and routine infectious disease have declined sharply. Indoor air pollution, dysentery, waterborne diseases, or cholera, vector-borne disease, or malaria, dengue, etc., and AIDS account for millions of deaths annually and are hitting hardest the countries that are least prepared and can least afford to deal with them. Role of science and technology in agriculture. Science and technology have facilitated higher yields, greater efficiency, and greater nutritional content in the world of food supply. Food production, however, must double in the coming decades to meet rising demand and meet the challenges entailed improving resistance to drought, pests, salinity, and temperature extremes, raising the nutritional content and reducing post-harvest loss, all in an environmentally and socially sustainable manner. At the same time, the regulatory challenges of assuring safety in food production and consumption will increase exponentially. They are according to William in 1998. This includes the will to advance economically, opportunity and organization to use the technology, elimination of political, social, and economic obstacles to development as was inherited from early colonial history. And lastly, ability first to incorporate the technology into overall development and then to continue using it. Rapid advances in the understanding of plant biology and related areas hold hope for solutions to problems as varied as increased productivity, the nutritional content of food as carrier of vaccines, soil land degradation, post-harvest loss, and drought and pest resistance. Role of science and technology in economic growth or rural development. Science and technology are strategically important to economic opportunity and growth. For many years, policymakers have suspected a close link between economic growth and productive investment in science and technology, and now mounting evidence support this in three principal ways, according to Watson 2003. These are first industrial revolution. Countries have had the most science and technology capacity and have grown faster from 1870 to the present. Scientifically and technologically advanced countries have become increasingly wealthy, and their rates of growth have not diminished as this occurred. Second, returns to rural and development have been shown to be consistently positive and high in countries where science and technology are properly established. In such cases, there is always a correlation between innovation and growth. Lastly, the role of science and technology in education. No economy has ever become developed with a framework of instructions and preparation for national manpower supply or human capital advancement. Government's policy on education has, among other issues, emphasized but not driven the following objectives. First is the training of the mind and the acquisition of appropriate skills, abilities, and competencies, both mental and physical, as equipment for the individual to live and contribute to the development of the society. Second is ensuring that all schools are properly equipped to promote sound and effective teaching, and in particular that suitable textbooks and libraries are provided for schools. Lastly is a greater proportion of education expenditure would be devoted to science and technology, and a greater attention paid to the development of scientific orientation. According to EGBOGA of 2012, it is common knowledge that 3 decades after these objectives were set out to improve the standard of education in the According to EGBOGA of 2012, it is common knowledge that 3 decades after these objectives were set out to improve the standard of education in the country, not only have none of the objectives been realized, but also the standard education has fallen far below what it was before.